now looking at the social construction of health. We looked at the biomedical model earlier on and the assumption contained within it that, if you like, we are, as bodies, like machines, and there is what we should be and what we are, and one needs to be fixed to one rather than another. Another way of putting that is we have the idea of a normal and an abnormal. So that normal is, if you like, the factory settings to which we need to be reset by. And the abnormality or difference will demonstrate the illness or disease or problem. This has been challenged, and it has been seen that what the judgment is of normal is far from objective and is subjective according to culture, ethnicity, socioeconomic position, and gender. In other words, this idea that science provides a neutral idea of what should be is challenged by this. And when it comes to making diagnosis, which is what you are writing about, there are a number of considerations other than the objective science that needs to be looked at. It is pointed out that different cultures, this is again the idea that the Western notions of biomedical science dominate and point to a singular way of defining what is ill and what needs treatment, etc. The Punjabi Sikhs and Hindus resident in Bradford have a condition within their culture called sinking heart. This is said to occur when the family take great public shame and the measurement of pain is nonetheless real for its non-evidence scientific based approach. Gender. It's different from girls from boys. So women are far more likely to refer themselves to their GP. So they record different rates of morbidity, that's rates of illness. This is presumably because men or boys see illness in a different way to females or girls and women, because they would define illness differently according to others, in comparison to women. It is worth noting that men have higher mortality rates than women, that is, they die sooner on average. And this too may be a feature of how illness is perceived culturally amongst men. Age. It is clear judgment, thinking of the biomedical model of replacing or putting right or setting to factory settings, is not universally applied. This lady crossing the road in front of you here is not physically ill. She, by most judgment, I would argue, is out, able and well. However, it is easy to see that her physical attributes, if the biomedical model is applied, would suggest she needs treatment. So the diagnosis is also influenced by the factor of age. Social class, what is regarded as illness amongst working class people, is not the same as middle or upper class people. It is defined at a level which would be different in that they do not see certain things as illness, whether other social classes would. So this is the difference. When it comes to diagnosis, there are cultural prisms from which to see this. And the construction, the social construction, the idea of social construction is this isn't naturally occurring. It isn't a biological fact. It is something that comes through a social process, and that diagnosis in and of itself is rarely objective and takes these other factors into consideration.